Welcome to this chapter in our blog where we will speak about the right set of steps in the process of preparing for digital transformation. Digital transformation is a profound shift in how an organization operates and delivers value to its customers. It's about leveraging digital technologies and innovative strategies to improve operational efficiencies, enhance customer experience, and adapt to the evolving market landscape. My name is Christian Rumer. I am the CEO and the founding partner of Q-Lana. We have developed a low-code-based open banking, digital lending and asset management platform. Our banking platform is used by multiple financial institutions in lower and middle income countries and by asset managers around the world. In our blog, we will share with you our expertise and ideas about how to organize financial services, how to develop a successful business model for the next decade, how to manage risk, and how to implement all the ideas and concepts at the right speed and sequence. What do we expect from digital transformation as of today? We have identified 6 key areas for financial services where the transformation is most obvious. Those areas are, first, the omni-banking channels. We provide customers with an integrated, seamless experience across multiple channels such as online banking, mobile apps, ATMs, agents, and physical branches. The second point is personalization. We need to leverage data analytics, meaning artificial intelligence and machine learning, to tailor products and services to individual customer needs and preferences. In summary, we have to move away from selling products towards providing solutions for our customers. Automation and process optimization is the next point. Implementing technologies that will lead to process automation and streamlined internal operations. It will reduce costs and enhance efficiency. This is done in a way to maintain the flexibility as business evolves. You will hear us talking a lot about low-code software platforms as we see them as a key to maintain exactly this flexibility. Next, we need to talk about advanced security measures. Only a modern digital infrastructure will allow us to adopt innovative cybersecurity solutions and practices so that we can protect customer data, prevent fraud, and ensure compliance with the relevant regulation. The complexity of fraud events will increase exponentially, especially as AI grows and manipulates our human interaction through language and through further infiltrating social media. Data-driven decision-making is the 5th point we have identified. Utilizing big data analytics and advanced algorithms to make informed strategic decisions, to optimize risk management and to drive innovation. This will require an elaborate data analytics strategy, which we will explain in one of our later sessions. And finally, the 6th point is the collaboration with Fintech and open banking. Partnering with the Fintech companies, embracing open banking initiatives to foster innovation, improve customer experiences, and expand service offerings will be the most revolutionary component of digital transformation. This is though subject to the rules and regulations in each country. Looking at these 6 aspects, it becomes clear that customers expect from their financial service provider nothing less than a revolution. And on the surface, it is obviously not clear whether this revolution indeed needs to involve the traditional financial institutions. It doesn't have to if we remember the famous phrase from Bill Gates who said, "Banking is necessary, banks are not." When we look at the appearance of fintech companies a couple of years ago, it seemed that they were doing everything better than the established financial institutions. They based their offerings on high tech. They offered specialized financial services in an environment of light regulation. Their operations were very agile, and they enjoyed a corporate culture based on flat hierarchies. At the same time, traditional financial institutions were considered bureaucratic and stuck with a rusty hierarchical structure. Their technology was outdated and they suffered from the burden of heavy regulations. They served a broader spectrum of quite diverse clients with different demands. This looked like a clear win for the fintechs. Not so fast though. Over the past years, some issues did arise that have partially reshuffled and redistributed the cards, and apparently this time more in favor of the traditional institutions. The pandemic, several global political events, and an economic shift towards inflation countered by interest rate increases were the causes. Traditional financial institutions have now better access to cheaper sources of funding, particularly since the decade of low interest rates and excess liquidity came to an end. Financial institutions are licensed and regulated, which lends them a certain level of credibility. Also, the larger and existing customer base, as well as associated data, gave these traditional institutions a benefit, especially during the crisis. For example, they knew their customers. They were able to help them directly based on experience and relationships. While admittedly bureaucratic and slow, existing risk management procedures and systems dealing with anti-money laundering and KYC rules provided definitely an advantage for those institutions. In other words, the last couple of years revealed an opportunity for those traditional financial institutions to get back into the game. However, these institutions must use this opportunity and progress at an accelerated pace on their path to digital transformation. So let's not waste more time. What are the steps for a financial institution to prepare for digital transformation? We have collected 7 of them. The first one means you have to establish the objectives. Transformation teams must be formed to establish the business objectives they wish to achieve with digital transformation. What do you want to accomplish? Do you want to implement a digital-first mindset or improve the legacy systems and processes? Do you want to attract and retain new customers with digital services? Is your goal to leverage digital assets specifically to grow your deposits or loan portfolio? However, one thing must be clear. Digital transformation must be based on an overall business strategy. We will discuss the components of a good business strategy separately in a later block. Just remember this for now, the transformation itself cannot be the strategy. Second step is to contrast your products against competitors and international best practices. Where does your business rank in terms of online presence? Are your financial products marketed towards those who primarily purchase goods and services online? Do you utilize digital platforms to teach your team and customers more about what you offer? A few things to think about when comparing your product offerings to those of your competitors are: how do you inform your customers of your products? What is your current online and digital presence? How does your financial institution compare in the digital service against traditional and non-traditional competitors? This brings us to the third point, which means we have to evaluate the technology and processes. You need to assess your current stock of systems and products, as this is the set of tools that you have to complete your business processes pre-transformation. Are there abilities you haven't utilized yet? Do you set up annual product planning that agrees with your budget and strategic plan? A comprehensive review of your tools and systems will show you what you need to work on and what improvements you can make. You'll also understand how to use what you already have and what new digital tools or capabilities you should introduce to improve your digital transformation. The next point is quite important. It's the assessing of your culture. In business, culture is everything. And a transformation will challenge the status quo, as it often leads to radical cultural change. You need to assess the characteristics of your company's culture to ensure that the transformation improves the weaker elements and the changes do not destroy the positive aspects of your culture. Assume that company-wide changes take place and they will cause emotional strain on individuals. Digital transformation can be incredibly challenging for an established culture. Getting everyone on the same page is a clear task for the upper management. You have to consider the right organizational structure that works best for digital optimization. Do you have digital experts on staff? Who can help with the communication to create acceptance? Do you need external support? The fifth point relates to the definition of customer needs. Data aggregation, we know, can be extremely challenging, but you need to do it to understand your target audience. Take a close look on how you're doing it now. Are you segmenting your customers by demographics, life cycle, product mix? How do your digital services align with customer segments? As you create your segmentation strategy, review and assess the products, the services, and the data collection of these products. Understand the value drivers and the cost factors. This then leads to the sixth point, which is the prioritization of resources. A practical and realistic mindset is essential when working towards your objectives from step one. Consider that a digital transformation can happen gradually by starting with just a few key projects, creating quick wins. You can improve them later. Stakeholders need to be aware of this attitude. They need to see results quickly. And finally, the seventh point is to promote buy-in at every level. After you established your digital transformation goals, implementation follows next. And this requires the effort from everyone, not only from those mentioned in our prior discussion about culture, but enthusiastic buy-in from your staff and customers. You need to develop a clear internal communication plan that sets out specific roles and responsibilities to make your digital program successful and continue promoting it internally. Create an external marketing plan and establish a well-structured change management program. Those are the important steps when preparing for digital transformation. Obviously, planning needs to be very thorough and involves numerous tricky components, but most importantly, as mentioned before, a digital transformation will only be successful if it's based on a clear strategic business plan. In the next chapter of this blog, we will look at an institution's readiness for digital transformation. Thereafter, we will be diving into the aspects of strategic business plans for a digital-focused institution. Looking forward to see you at the next chapter.